Hey y'all, welcome back to another doll ranking video. Today I'm going to be taking a look at and ranking all of the Bratzillaz dolls. So I have been getting comments with a fair amount of frequency on my other doll ranking videos to do a video or like a series of videos ranking all of the Bratz dolls. And I'm hesitant to do so for a few reasons. The first of which is just there are so many Bratz dolls, like there's just so many to go through. So it definitely wouldn't be one video. It would definitely be like a long series of videos. I have done that before, but like I said, there's multiple reasons. Reason number two is that it's harder, at least for me, to find really good quality pictures of older Bratz dolls. Like some of them are pretty easy to find and some of them are just a little bit harder. So like I did a huge series ranking all of the Monster High dolls, but it was very easy to find good stock photos of the Monster High dolls to use for those rankings, whereas with the Bratz dolls, it's kind of hit or miss as far as like the quality of the photos that I can find. Maybe I'm just bad at it. So if you guys know like a good Bratz database that I could look through and maybe be able to find some better photos, let me know, because that might influence me towards making a Bratz ranking. Another reason though that I'm hesitant to do so is because every time I make one of these ranking videos, usually you guys on YouTube are like quite nice. Sometimes I'll get a weird comment on shorts because it's someone who's just like randomly seeing my video. But I do post the shorts versions of these rankings to TikTok as well. And people are always very upset by my opinions on these dolls, which like is fine. You don't have to agree with me, but also like it's just an opinion and it's just a doll. And that happens pretty much every time, and it's fine, it's whatever. Usually they're not super bad, but I have had some interactions with the Bratz fandom in the past that were a little bit rough. I'm not trying to generalize all Bratz fans. I'm sure there are plenty of you out there who are really lovely Bratz fans, and I like Bratz, so like it's not even that I don't like them, but some people in the Bratz fandom can be absolutely ruthless, and I know I'm not the only person this has happened to. Like, some Bratz fans are just really mean, and so I'm more hesitant to put out, especially a series of videos ranking them, because I don't want to get a bunch of mean comments. But you know, sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not, which brings me to the last reason that I like haven't started doing a Bratz ranking yet, and that's because in general my Bratz videos on this channel don't do super well. Like when I do Bratz unboxings compared to unboxings of other brands, the Bratz unboxings tend to do a lot worse. So like there's obviously some people out there, like I said, I'm getting comments requesting it, so obviously there's some people out there who want to see a Bratz ranking, but I am kind of nervous that if I started it, it would not go over well, just because that seems to be the trend for my channel at least. Obviously that could change, like maybe if I did a ranking video, something would be different. But yeah, those are just kind of the reasons that I haven't made a proper Bratz ranking video or like started the series. So I thought a good way to kind of test the waters would be to do a ranking of the Bratzillaz, which is how we got to this point today, because there's a lot fewer dolls. It was pretty easy to find pictures for I think all of them. I'm pretty sure I have all of them. If I missed out on one, I'm very sorry. But yeah, so I thought this would be a good testing ground because I could see if it seems like a lot of people are interested in this video, then it would be more worth it to do a full series of Bratz ranking videos, because like I don't need this to be my most popular video ever, you know, but I don't want to make it and have only like 50 people enjoy it, you know, because at that point I feel like I'm not entertaining most of you guys, and I do want to do my best to be entertaining as many of you as possible when I make these videos. So this is a good testing ground to see how many people are interested. It's a smaller pool of dolls, so I just have to do the one video. This isn't going to be a two-parter or anything, and I can see how the wider Bratz fandom takes it if they get a hold of it, and just see kind of what the feedback might be there. So yeah, I guess, you know, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see other Bratz videos in like the ranking category here, if you want me to rank other Bratz dolls, leave me a like and a comment and let me know how you're feeling about that. Because again, I'm happy to do it if that's what you guys want to see. But just based on the analytics that I've seen before, it doesn't seem like something that a lot of you would be into, but again, I could be totally wrong, so definitely let me know. And if you do like this video and you're new here, you could definitely subscribe so you can see more, and leave like a little comment down below letting me know you subscribed from this video so that I know you're wanting to see more Bratz content. Sorry, that was a long intro. Last thing that I have to say is that this is just my opinion, so if you disagree with me on the Bratzillaz, it's fine. It's not anything that I'm going to be offended about, just like, please be nice about it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started ranking these dolls. Alrighty, so as with all of my other ranking videos, I am using Procreate to do this, and the tiers that I have for the Bratzillaz ranking are perfect, good, mid, I feel nothing, bad but it gets worse, and burn it. So we are going to be starting off with the core Sasha Bella doll. She's not too bad. Like, I like a lot of elements. Her dolls have a lot of fur in them, and sometimes it's very hit or miss for me. I think that the fur on her collar is not, like, particularly offensive here. It's definitely not bad. I would love if the buckles went around to the back. I hate when you can even see in the stock photos. Like, obviously it's good when you can see in the stock photos stuff like that, so you're not negatively surprised when you get the doll. But also, I just hate to see it. But I do like the pattern for her cape. I think that's pretty cool. The base doll is very nice. I'm going to tell you guys right now, a big theme in this video is going to be that I like the base doll. I do think that Bratzillaz have nice dolls, but the clothing is going to be what's like hit or miss for me. I do like her shoes and her socks, and she's got what I think is kind of like a little cat tattoo, which is super fun. Ultimately, I definitely would never buy her, but I don't think she's bad. I don't feel super strongly about her. I think I'm going to put her into mid. Then we have Sasha Bella from Midnight Beach, and I do want to say really quick, I have to zoom in super far, so it's kind of hard to tell, but I'll do like a little color pick of her skin tone. So as you can see, she has a drastically different skin tone to her core doll. Normally, this is something that would be a big fat red flag to me, to take a doll that is like, I think the darkest skin tone doll that Bratzillaz had, and then give her much paler skin. But this is her Midnight Beach doll, and all of the Midnight Beach dolls had this same skin tone. So I still think that it reads a little bit iffy, but I do think it's a lot better because it's not as though they singled her out. It's not like they only lightened her skin. They changed everyone's skin tone because I think that their skin glows in the dark. Like, it's like that kind of greenish hue. So I just wanted to make that note, because if you don't know that, I do think it looks really bad to take a character who has a darker complexion and then do this to their skin tone. But since it wasn't across the board change, like even the pale characters got turned into this more green tone for the glow in the dark effect, I think it's a little bit better. I hope that makes sense. It doesn't read as something that was intentional, or like there's a weird, why would you do this? It's very obvious that they did it for the glow in the dark element. I wish that there had been another solution, but because it's not unique to Sasha Bella, it's not something that I'm gonna be super upset about. I hope that makes sense, because like I've made comments specifically about Claudine before, because there's a couple of Gen 1 Claudine dolls that got their skin tone changed when like no one else in the same line had that problem, and I think that's weird. This isn't quite the same because it's literally every single doll had the skin tone. Anyway, though, looking at her herself, again, I think that the doll itself is kind of nice. You can't really see her eyes, but I love the tone of lipstick that they gave her. I like her cloak. I don't like the swimsuit. I think she has like animal powers. I don't know a whole lot about Bratzillaz, but I'm just guessing that she has animal powers based off of what we see. It's giving kind of like caveman though, or like cavewoman. Like, this would have made more sense on a Cave Club doll to me, and I just don't think it looks super. I don't think it really matches. I am going to put this in bad, but it gets worse. I just am not really a fan of that one.
For this next doll, I have no idea why my iPad decided to just not record the screen. It was only this one section, so instead of seeing, like, the tier list behind my little video of me, you're gonna see just a stagnant image of the doll. I'm sorry, it's just this one that it did this to, so everything will go back to normal in a moment.
Then we have Sasha Bella's Magic Night Out doll, and this one I think is so much better. I think this dress is quite fun. I wish she had some tights or something to just pull it together, but of course that would obscure her thigh tattoo. I love the green, like, buckled shoes. I think those are really cool. It's a fun pop of color. I can't tell if the stitching on her dress is that green or if it's just white, but this is pretty fun. I think the fur looks a lot better the way it was incorporated in this doll. Like, I like the color. I like the pattern that it has to it mixed with the leather. I think is really nice. And then to have her witch hat be green as well to kind of tie in with her shoes, I think looks really nice. This one I'm going to put into good. Next up, we have Sasha Bella's Back to Magic. And again, this is a hard one for me. I have to say, all of them have, like, witch hats, because Bratzillaz specifically was, like, an all-witch line. Sometimes they look like little ice cream cones because of this pattern that they do on them, and I'm definitely getting that vibe from her. That's not, my favorite thing in the world. I do think her makeup is really nice, though. I like the patterns on her skirt and her shirt, but I don't like this green fur. I don't know. I think the last one looked softer, and this one looks dry. Like, it doesn't look pleasant. Weirdly enough, I hate it less on the boots and on the bag. I just don't like it on her top. I think I'm going to put her into mid. Then we have the budget Sasha Bella doll, and again, it's giving, like, very Cave Club vibes. I just feel like I could be wrong about her power. Maybe it has nothing to do with animals, and so maybe that's why I'm not getting it. But I don't know. I just don't love this. It looks like her legs are just painted black, which I know she is a budget doll, but I still am not obsessed. I don't like how you can see right in here the like raw edge of the fur. I think that does not look good. Overall, the base doll, like her makeup is nice, but everything else I'm really not a fan of. I think I'm gonna say bad, but it gets worse. I can't think of a worse doll at the moment, but just in case. Then lastly for Sasha Bella, we have Blood Red Charm. And again, I don't like the fur on this one. The leather is fun. The dress with the fur and like the sparkle and like the pom-poms with the bow at the waist, I think the problem is that it's giving me like Santa dress, but with black fur instead of white fur. And I'm just not here for it in this context. Like on a holiday Barbie or like a holiday themed doll from another line, yeah, okay, that tracks. But I don't like it in this context. And I feel like she doesn't have enough green. I really like the green elements when she gets those, because her eyes are this vibrant green. She usually has greenish makeup. I just am not a fan. I hesitate to put it in Burn It, because I don't remember what other dolls are coming up next, but I feel like there's worse. So I'm going to put it in bad, but it gets worse. But if it doesn't, I'm going to move some of these dolls down, because those are kind of rough for me. Then we have Jade. I love the like lace across her eyes. I think that is super funky. The red eyes is really interesting. I don't know how I feel about this peplum moment at the hip. I do think it was very much of the time, like when these were releasing. I think that probably was, still in fashion. Her cape is fine. She has a little heart tattoo, a very basic heart bag. I don't know what's up with almost like the knee pads that are hearts. It's kind of interesting. Like, I don't completely hate it, but I don't love it either. I think she's going to go in mid. I really, really love the lace across her eyes, but I just don't think anything else in her design adds up or like holds up to that. Then we have the Midnight Beach Jade, which again, you can see that skin tone like that they all got. I hate this though. I don't like this weird like flowy bit that seems to be only attached in the far back. And I think that this particular fabric looks quite cheap, especially at this scale. Like, I'm sure that a very creative person can use this fabric in a nice way on a bigger scale or maybe even on a doll scale. But in this context, I just think it looks goofy and cheap. I also really don't like the yellow on the shoes. I found the worst doll. This one's going to go and Burn It. I really don't like that. Okay, then we have Magic Night Out. I love her face here. I think the eyes are a slightly lighter red, which is a weird thing to say because light red is just pink. But these are actually somehow just light red to me. I love it with the pink lip. She's got the pink hair. That's all very cool. Even like the lace on the dress with it looks like the attached cape, I think is kind of cool. The silver hearts on the belt are what kills it for me because it just looks very, very juvenile. I think these are the same mold of shoes that Sasha Bella had, but I like the fishnets. It's literally just those silver hearts. They're really taking it down for me, which is sad because I think that otherwise she would look a lot better. As is, though, she's still going to go into good. I think that could be a much, much worse design. Then we have Jade's Back to Magic design. I don't know why she got the fur bag this time. I don't like it. I just don't think that it looks very good. This one's very red. I like her hair. I think that's cool with the red and white layers. It looks very interesting. I like her hat. She's got the mix of patterns with her dress, which is fine. I don't know if I love the style of the dress itself. It's just not really for me. That's not to say that it's bad. It's just not my favorite. I feel like this is going to be unpopular, but I'm going to put her in mid. Less because I think it's a bad design and more just because it's not one that I enjoy. Then we actually have two budget Jade dolls. So starting off on the left, because that's the much better one, we've got the white hair, all red, like eyes and lips and everything. The skirt is fine. I feel like I should dislike it. Like, it should be kind of cheesy to me, but I don't hate it. I don't like the molded in, like, tights, but again, it is a budget doll. Ultimately, I think she belongs in I Feel Nothing. She's got good and bad elements, but they kind of even out to me just not having an opinion. This one's bad, though. I don't like this at all. She looks like a 2-bit superhero with the fur skirt and, like, this really metallic thing up top. I feel like there would have been a way to use that metallic fabric that could have been interesting, but this isn't it. I don't like that, and that's going to go into Burn It. Then we have a Romantic Spell Jade. I really don't know how to feel about this one. I kind of like when she has pink elements, but I wish there was a little bit more red in here. I like the mix of fabrics, though. That's very fun. I think this is another I Feel Nothing. Like, there's not really anything horrifically wrong with her. I just don't feel a whole lot. Then we are moving on to Yasmina, and this is like a lot happening here. I like the hair color. I think that's super nice. She's got some fun braids going on there, which I love. The yellow eyes are very striking with the purple hair. So, like, the base doll, really good, really solid, and I like that. Her cloak is fine. I like this almost dragon scale pattern on the top of her top, and then we've got a bit of corsetting detail, which I think looks absolutely sick. The bottom half is where it kind of loses me. Not that I'm against, like, pants as a concept on dolls, because I know that a lot of dolls end up getting skirts and dresses, and so I do like to see a good pair of pants. I think it's the cargo pocket that's really messing this up for me, and I don't like the brown boots with this. I just feel like they would have been better in a different color if you were going to use that exact mold. She's got good elements, but she's also got not so good elements. I'm going to put her in mid. Then we have the Midnight Beach version, and we have, again, that weird fabric for her actual swimsuit that is just, it's kind of rough for me. I can see she has an Eye of Horus tattoo on her arm. I don't think I pointed that out on her core doll. I like the eye pattern on kind of her cover-up that she's got going on here. Don't know what her power is. Maybe, like, seeing the future or something like that. But it's fine. Definitely very ice cream cone on the hat. Yeah. I'm gonna go with bad, but it gets worse. It's not super. Then we've got Magic Night Out. I don't like this. I think the hair is interesting in concept, but something about the way it looks, at least in this stock photo, is really not doing it for me. I don't like the bubble skirt with the layer underneath it. Like, the bubble skirt is already a lot to handle, but with the layer underneath it, it looks so bad to me. That one's going in Burn It. I'm so sorry. Okay, next up we have the budget version, and I shouldn't like this, right? Like, it's so much less detailed than other ones that we've gotten, but for some reason I think it's kind of cool. Her cloak is, like, kind of giving a mix of cloak and poncho, and for some reason I'm really here for it. And the eyeball pants, like, they're just so funky and so weird, but it really works for me. So I know this is, like, a weird way to rank this doll, but she's going into good. That has no reason for me to, like, be so attached to it, but I really like it. Then we have Midnight Magic Yasmina. This one I think is a lot better. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of what appears to be a skirt with capris under it, but I can live with it. It could be a lot worse. Again, with, like, the fun braids going on. And I love this top. I think that looks amazing. Like, she looks so, so nice in that. The shoes are very basic. So the top half is great. I always am, like, except for the budget one, always the lower half is what's kind of killing it for me. but I like the top half enough in this to actually put her into good. Okay, then we have Fiona, who is very clearly mermaid inspired, but still a witch, as you can see from her ice cream cone witch hat. Other than that, though, I mean, come on, she's so good. She's a mermaid doll, so I'm very biased towards her. I just love mermaids a lot. But I think that they really executed this pretty well, especially for a mermaid doll that's like not wearing a full mermaid tail, but is really wearing more of a skirt or a dress. I think the fabrics on this really work. Hate the shoes. I don't like that little peak of yellow there. Don't think it works for me. But everything else I think is really cool. I like the starfish accents. Those are very nice. And her makeup is so glittery that it's like almost obscuring the print of the makeup, which is exactly how I want it to look. I just love glitter and sparkle and shiny stuff. And I love mermaids. So, like, she's perfect to me. Not actually perfect. I shouldn't say that. I think because of the shoes and because of her silly little ice cream cone hat, she's going to go into good. But she's pretty close to perfect. Next up is Victoria, who, if I had to take a wild guess, maybe dragon inspired. I'm not 100% sure, but she seems... No, I guess that's not a dragon on her arm. It was just the scales. It's kind of giving dragon. I don't know. Her hairstyle is very fun. I really hate the ice cream cone hats. I'm so sorry. I just think they're hideous. Her face is beautiful, though. The scales on the side I think are really cool. I like the asymmetrical cut of her outfit. I think it looks like built-in shorts, so it's kind of a romper sort of situation. But it looks really fun and interesting. Weirdly enough, I don't hate the fact that the leg warmers, cut off as much as I normally would. This, to me, is a really solid doll. Still not perfect. There's only one that I'm honestly even considering putting in perfect, and it's not her. But she is going to go into good. Next up is Carolina, who I think was part of, like, either a line or a set of 3, and for some reason, just the order that they were in this database. The other 2 are later on in the list. So we'll get there. I promise I didn't forget them. But focusing just on her, I like the makeup. I think that's fun. They all have like a birdcage thing going on that I don't understand. Presumably, if I knew more about Bratzillaz, like that would make sense. But it doesn't. I do like the mix of fabrics and stuff we've got going on here. I think it's kind of interesting. I wish the shoes were more exciting. I think as a Monster High fan, I'm kind of spoiled by fun shoes. These just look really basic to me. Even so, though, I think this is pretty solid, and she's going to go into good. Next up is Megana, who might be my favorite overall. I think she has the most dolls that I feel the best about. I don't know. I just think she looks cool. Her base doll is really nice. I think the blue makeup and blue eyes with the red hair is really pretty. That dark red lip is so lovely. And I like the way that they've done her outfit. The broomstick bag, I think, is really fun. I like all of the different fabrics that are going on, different prints. Yeah, she's solid. Like, she's kind of simplistic, honestly, compared to some of the other ones. But she's still going into good. Then we have her Midnight Beach outfit, and this is probably my favorite Midnight Beach doll, aside from the mermaid, who technically was, like, part of that line. But as far as the dolls in swimsuits, I think that she is my favorite. I like the color of her top here. Again, with the ice cream cone hats. Like, I understand that they all have hats because they're witches. I just wish it wasn't in this particular pattern, and because of the size, it just looks so rough. But her face is beautiful, the hairstyle's fun, and I really, really love this starry cover-up. I think that is so, so pretty. Again, with the yellow. I feel like all of the Midnight Beach dolls got like weird pops of yellow, and I love yellow, okay? It's one of my favorite colors, but I just don't think this looks good. I think it's the particular color of yellow with the greenish skin that I'm having an issue with. Like, if these heels were that bronzy color of her top, that would be so much nicer to me. I'm still going to put her in good, though. I'm just complaining away, but, like, she's still getting a good ranking. Then we've got Magic Night Out, and again, this just is so nice. The silhouette, I think, is really fun. I like that she's got a high collar. That's just very interesting. I don't feel like you always see that with dolls. Not that it's like entirely uncommon, but you know, it's not the most common. I like this style of hat better. This is super solid. She's really good. So she's going in good. I feel like, again, she's one that's almost perfect. But to me, for it to be perfect, it has to be a doll that I would genuinely be like, maybe I would buy this. Because if I wouldn't even buy it, how can I rank it in top tier, you know? And yeah, maybe if I had been shopping for Bratzillaz when they were actively on store shelves and so they were like relatively inexpensive, maybe I would have gotten her, but I won't go out of my way to look for her, you know? So good it is. Then we have the Back to Magic, and she also has this fur bag, so maybe that was just part of the line. Maybe I've been critiquing it unfairly. I don't know. I love these patterns, though. I think that's very interesting. She got glasses, which we don't see a ton, and I think it's very cute. Her little beret. Again, super solid. She's going in good. Then we have two budget Meganas again. This left one I think is really bad. This one, they messed her up big time. I don't know what this print is supposed to be. Maybe it's supposed to match what's at her throat, so maybe like some wings? But it doesn't look like it. Honestly, they look like little raviolis in the sky. Which, maybe if you're a ravioli person, that's a compliment. And I don't really have anything against ravioli, except that it usually has cheese in it, and I don't like cheese. But I don't like that dress, and I don't like this doll, so she's going in burn it. The other budget one is definitely much better to me. I don't think it's as exciting as the other Megana dolls, in my opinion. Like, it's just not super, but compared to the last one, it is inoffensive, which is good. I think I'm gonna put her in I Feel Nothing. Because, like, the nicest thing that I have to say is that she's not ultimately bad. Like, she doesn't make me feel negative emotions, but she doesn't make me feel good emotions either, you know? And then the last Megana doll is the True Blue one. Not my favorite. Not bad, though. And definitely better than the last budget one, I think. Yeah, the dress is fine. I don't feel much, but I do feel a little bit more than the last one, so we're going to put her into mid. We are nearing the end here. We are on Cloella, who I want to like because I love split designs. I think they're very fun. She's got heterochromia, which is really interesting. The split lip is cool. Ultimately, the design is fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It does appear to be a bit asymmetrical with the sleeves. I just am not 100% obsessed. I think she's going to go... She can go into good. She's, like, on the lower end of good, but she's still okay. Then we have her Midnight Beach doll, and I don't like this one. It's cool that it shows off her tattoo. I like that they all have tattoos. I feel like that's very different for a, like, widespread fashion doll, and I think it's really cool. But that's about the best thing I can say. I guess the swimsuit isn't terrible. I don't like the cloak, because it looks like it's only half lined. Or maybe this side is just lined with more of a silver, and it doesn't look great in the stock photo. I don't know. I don't feel super about it. I'm going to put that in bad, but it gets worse. The shoes, again, with the yellow are really messing me up on that one. Because, like, the gold and then, like, that color of yellow, it just doesn't work for me. Magic Night Out Cloella. It is a rough one. I like her shoes. I think the cloak does not look good. The hair is cool, so I'll give her that. But again, this fabric on this dress, it just looks really cheap to me. At least the way it's been executed, it doesn't excite me in any way. It kind of reminds me of those, like, I don't know if they were books or what. My memory's failing me. But, you know, like the make your own fashion toys where it would have a little, like, plastic piece and then there was a cutout of like a tube dress in the middle and you could put fabric in it and then like cut it somehow. I don't know if any of you are going to know what I'm talking about. But the entire dress looks like it was made with one of those. Like, it looks like it was made by a kid. I don't like it. But it's not the worst, so it's going in bad, but it gets worse. Then we've got a budget Cloella, and she definitely looks budget. I think my favorite piece is this kind of capelet that she's got going on. I like the arrow across the, like, closure piece. Everything else I really don't like, to the point where she's going to go and burn it. Then we have Changed Up Chic. Yeah, I don't like this one. I get the idea, and like I think I like the fabrics. I even like the skirt. I don't like the top. Even though the hat is fabric, which is cool, I don't like it. And honestly, it just looks extremely boring. Yeah, it's not the worst, but it's not good. Bad, but it gets worse. Okay, then we have Vampalina, and this one is my favorite. She's fun. She's got some fun stuff going on. I like the hair. The eyes are like very creepy, but in a good way, you know? They're just very striking with the like centralized heterochromia. I think that looks sick. Her velvet material. It looks like velvet. I could be wrong. Maybe it's like satiny, but the material of her cape looks so, so nice. I love her dress with this like almost cage design with the lace on top. It looks so, so good. I love this one. And she is going to be the only one who gets to grace the perfect tier of this video. Okay, last three. Ileana, I think, looks really cool. Love the hair. We've got just a bit of tinsel in there, not a ton, and I think it looks super nice. She's got so many colors happening in her makeup, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. And the eyes, too, like the coloration is just so pretty. I also think it's really, really cool. I'm guessing because her top kind of reminds me of a sari. So I'm guessing she's meant to be Indian. Definitely correct me if I'm wrong. Like I said, I don't know anything about Bratzillaz, so like I absolutely could be incorrect there. But I really like that her upper lip is darker than her lower lip because I know a lot of people who have like mid to dark toned skin have lips that just naturally are two different colors, like two-toned lips. And I think it's really, really beautiful that on this doll, she's just wearing that with her super glamorous makeup. Like, I think it's really nice to see that. And it looks gorgeous. I also love the pattern on her pants. I think that's really fun. This is a solid, solid doll. One that, again, is like almost perfect to me. I'm not sure what's holding her back, but she's definitely going in good. Then we have the last two from like the three. Again, I don't know if it was like a full set, so I don't want to say set, but the three that all go together with like the birdcage thing going on. This one's definitely less exciting than the last one. I just don't like the fabrics as much. I like her socks. Those are cool. And I do like that she's got these kind of thumb hole sleeves. That's very fun. I don't like this birdcage as much. I don't know what's up with the bird cages. I'm going to put her into mid. And then sadly, we are ending on my least favorite out of this trio. I like her hair. I like the base doll with like the makeup and everything. I think that's really cool, especially the eyebrow with like the drawn on decoration I think is very fun. I really don't like this outfit though. Something about the patterns and like the way it's executed. Yeah, It could be worse, but not much. So it's going in bad, but it gets worse. So that is going to be the Bratzillaz ranking. It could be worse. I wonder if part of this is just because I am such a big Monster High fan. When Bratzillaz came out, they were very much like a Monster High competitor, or like trying to be a Monster High competitor. And I do think in some ways they're really cool. I believe they had inset eyes, which is super nice. And again, I said this before, a big theme with these is that I think the base dolls are really pretty. I think the color schemes with the makeup and hair and eyes are almost always really nice. Like, they really nailed that aspect, but sometimes the clothing just was not it for me, and especially the shoes a lot of the time are boring, or like the fabrics they chose looked kind of cheap. So I think those are the things that made me less excited about the Bratzillaz, and I don't know if I'm just thinking about like the shoes or something that Monster High really excelled at. So I don't know if that's a comparison that I'm kind of making that's making me like them less. I don't think that they were a terrible line at all. I mean, I do have the most dolls in good. Like, that's the biggest tier that we have filled here. So that's nice to see, but only having one in perfect is definitely a little bit worse. So yeah, could be worse. But yeah, guys, that is going to be it for the video today. I would love to hear your thoughts on Bratzillaz as a line and like which dolls are your favorites and least favorites in the comments down below. And as I said at the beginning of the video, definitely let me know how you're feeling about the idea of Bratz being ranked. This was kind of like the soft launch for that. And if a ton of you are interested in seeing it, I will make it happen, or at least I will try to make it happen. But yeah, I kind of have my reservations with it as far as how hard it's going to be to find good pictures and whether people are going to be interested. But if you're going to be interested, I'll make it. That's kind of my philosophy, is like, if you guys want to see a video, I will do my best to put it out there. So just let me know. But yeah, that is it for today. I do have, as always, in my description, my Amazon wishlist and then my Instagram and my TikTok links. So if you want to support me in other ways, you can definitely check those out. Other than that, though, I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day or your night or whatever it might be, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.